Hey, it's Rich. We're about to go for a first ride on my new bike, the 2015 SYM Symba, this black and white bike here in front. It's just like the old one, except it's black and white instead of red and white, and it's 6 years newer. We're still in the break-in period on this bike. It's at 43 miles on the odometer, and I'm still in the period where it's supposed to be riding gently, keeping it at low revs and not lugging the engine and so forth. People say that it doesn't matter on a new engine, on a modern engine, that you can basically beat the hell out of them from the beginning as long as you vary the engine speed. But I'm trying to be a good owner on this one. Today's will be a short ride. I'm just going downtown to the garage where I have a space so that I can make some minor adjustments to this. It's a very nice day out. It's a Saturday after Christmas, and doesn't feel Christmassy at all. It's like 50 degrees. I actually had to switch jackets. I'm in my lightweight spring jacket. I had the winter coat on and I felt ridiculous. So as you can see, I like the Simba because I bought a second one, and it drives just like the first, except everything feels very, very smooth. My old bike was really physically clattery, because of loose bolts, so forth all around, and the engine hesitated in cold weather and things like that. And it's just nice to drive something that's totally new. And this bike's 100 cc's. And can still get up in the 55 mile an hour range on the highway. So it's perfect for the city. I'm a big guy, and physically I'm a little large for it, but I don't really care. I mean, I'm perfectly capable of riding it. It's just not always comfortable, but it's being on something small that can move in and out of traffic when I need to, and so forth, makes up for the inconvenience and minor discomfort of being on a small bike. I feel safer on this. Let me let this guy by. I feel safer on this bike than I do on my larger motorcycle in icy, wintry weather, because I'm really maneuverable. And when you're on a motorbike, you're never going to be physically protected. The thing that you have to rely on is your own skills and awareness. So I like this little bike a lot better. We're heading down 7th Avenue into Lower Manhattan, and normally there's a lot of traffic along here because the right lanes head into the Holland Tunnel and out of the city, but for some reason everything's wide open today. So I bought this bike. Here's the split. I bought this bike from Philadelphia Scooters, which is about 100 miles away. But there's no SYM dealer in New York City. There's one company, SYM Scooters in Maspeth, Queens, which claims to be a SYM dealer, but I have found them unhelpful and unfriendly, and they have no stock, so they might as well not be. But the people at Philadelphia Scooters couldn't have been better. They're friendly and knowledgeable, and they do a lot of volume in SYM products, so they know what they're talking about. they had a Simba in stock. They sold it to me for a fair price. They were very helpful in helping me get it. I ended up renting a cargo van and throwing my sack of ratchet tie downs in the back and driving down to Philadelphia, and they loaded it in for me. And I drove it home to New York and have had no problems in 44 miles. And you know, it doesn't hurt that I know the bike really well, and if something was wrong, I'd probably know right away. But so far, no issues. And it was a pleasure dealing with them. There's another dealer in Boston, Scooters Go Green. That, hang on, we're hitting cobbles, so get ready for a little bouncing. So there's Scooters Go Green in Boston is another great dealer, but they didn't have any inventory, and they weren't going to get any until the spring. And I wanted the bike now. All right, well, I think we've demonstrated that a cup holder and a coffee cup are fine on this bike, but only if the coffee cup closes, because I've splattered myself with little bits of splatter. So like I said, not much of a ride today. We're just heading down to the financial district where I have a garage space. For those of you who live in places where you have essentially unlimited free outdoor parking or garages of your own, you probably would be horrified to hear that here in New York City I pay $200 a month for garage space for one motorcycle and room for one shelf of tools and gear 4 miles from where I live. 3 miles from where I live. But that's just the way it is. There's only a few places where you can be in a community of motorcyclists and park. And almost none of us have our own garages in Manhattan. I certainly will never be in the economic situation to have my own garage space in Manhattan. So you put up with it. But it's nice to have the place where I park, which is called Riders Alley, is run by motorcyclists, and there's a small repair bay where I can do minor repairs and theoretically major. And they've got a compressor for air and basic supplies and so forth. So God, it's mobbed down here in Lower Manhattan. I can smell roasting chestnuts from those carts. Let's pull up here. You can see this is the reality of me safely cutting in and out of traffic because I'm so small. I don't ride like an asshole, but I am pretty free with putting the bike anywhere that it's physically safe to put it, that's not going to surprise anybody else and cause an accident. I used to live just over here to the right, in that second or third building on the left. And you've seen footage of my old bikes in this neighborhood. There's a new restaurant that wasn't here last time I was in this neighborhood. There's a lot of stuff coming in. I mean, I'm trying to keep the revs down, but it's hard to actually do actual riding on a bike like this at low revs. I mean, I haven't spiked the engine speed or anything like that, but so here we are, heading up Riders Alley. And that's it for now. I'll see you again soon.